Did you know that in the slavery era, Black women in New Orleans looked so stunning that white women got jealous and had their husbands pass a law forcing them to cover their hair? Welcome to the Tignon Era. New Orleans long has had a reputation as a place of sexual freedom and vice, particularly in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. It is a well-documented fact, though often sanitized or obscured in mainstream histories. Free Creole women of color were visible, beautiful, and socially savvy. They moved through a world of complex social codes where the line between privilege and prohibition were often blurred. Their beauty and their independence became the obsession of white men and the anxiety of white women. In a port city where African, Caribbean, French, Spanish, and indigenous influences collided, Creole women of color embodied something new: freedom, sophistication, and allure. For white men, New Orleans was a den for sex. There are accounts, letters, and memoirs from the era suggesting that for many young white men in the city, or from those visiting, their first sexual experiences were often with slaves or free Creole women of color. These relationships often took the form of plaquage, arrangements between white men and free women of color that blended affection, financial support, and sometimes genuine partnership. Through plaquage, women could acquire property, economic support, and education for themselves and their children. White women, especially the wives of colonial officials, saw these relationships as both scandalous and threatening. They could not compete with the allure of these women, their confidence, or their hair, styled in ways that defied both racial and gender norms. In 1786, under Spanish rule, Governor Esteban Miró issued the Tignon Law, part of his Bando de Buen Gouvernement, the law of good government. It required enslaved and free women of African descent to cover their hair in public, supposedly to maintain public order and discourage excessive display. But behind the language of morality and order was jealousy, fear, and control. The real intent was to suppress the growing social influence and sexual appeal of Black women, both slave and free. The women obeyed the law, but on their own terms. They wrapped their hair in brilliant silks, adorned them with jewels and ribbons, and folded defiance into every twist of fabric. What was meant to diminish them instead became a declaration of pride, creativity, and resistance. As one historian put it, though born of oppression in colonial Louisiana, the beauty of the Tignon style, vibrant colors, proud self-presentation, and creative resistance mirrored African aesthetics that soon echoed across the Atlantic. European elites admired and imitated such grace, often without crediting its Black creators. The Tignon era was never just about headwraps. It was about sexual tension, racial anxiety, and social control. During this forgotten era of American history, where desire and jealousy collided in a city known for forbidden liaisons and whispered scandals in the French Quarter, Black women at the margins found ways to assert themselves, challenge the powerful, and turn oppression into art. To learn more, read Dixieland, Tales, Stories, and Anecdotes of Unfiltered Black American History, available now at Amazon.com.